Welcome to this lesson, which is creating a basic hardcore drum beat. So you're going to open up Ableton and I'm going to press tab because I want it in this view. If you remember from lesson 3, the last one, down the left hand side we had our user library there, and we had our DJ HH sample pack that we had added. So you've got all your samples down there, you've got your bass and everything, your drums, and we go from here. So you can have a listen through and decide which kick drum you want. That's nice. So is that. When you're listening to these, you might think, oh, it might remind you of a certain tune, so that does. That one. Do you know what? It's tempting to go for that one, but I'm going to go for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that to the audio there. And then you'll have to bear with me because my mouse plays up sometimes. So what I'm doing is I'm scrolling on the mouse to zoom in, do it however you would do on your laptop. So that is our first kick drum sound. If you double click on the actual sample itself, it gives you all the bits and bobs there. So it's not warped. We'll talk. Warp is a little bit like what's it called? Sync, auto sync, but don't worry about that. So that's the beat that we've put in. Okay, so 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So what I'm going to do is just copy and paste, Control and C, Control and first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Now we've got this loop function here. So let's just, oh, where's all that loop? There we go. If we zoom out and get these here, what we can do is loop it and have a listen to what we've just done. So you can do whatever you want with those beats there. So we've got, let me just do it into a full bar. Okay, so we've got 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another bar. We're going to do 4 bars, and all I'm going to do is copy and paste that. So we've got 4 bars of music that lasts just under 6 seconds, and it sounds like this. So that's a basic 4-bar kick drum loop. What I'm going to do is, no, I'll do that afterwards actually. Or shall I do it now? No, I'll do it afterwards. We'll talk about consolidation afterwards. So we've got this basic 4-bar loop. I am going to select it all by pressing Control, and on my mouse select it like that, and I'm going to do another 4-bar loop because I want a little variation now. So let me just select that at the top to let us listen to the loop. So we've got so that's the original one that we did, and then we've got another 4 bars and we can loop those. I want it to be slightly more elaborate, nothing particularly original, but I want it to just sound like what I would expect a happy hardcore tune. I'm trying to give you the basics here. So what we're going to do is we've got the bum 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 bum. We're now going to go ba da bum 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 bum. So it will go like this. So with this one, we've got audio samples. So if you watch what happens here and listen. So you can see where you would expect that to happen. So what I'm going to do is think we've got dum 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 bum 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 bum. So let's just have a little bit of a play around with it here. And let's go, we'll take that a little bit shorter and we'll duplicate it and see what it sounds like now. So we zoom out, we'll start from there where we've got it looped. So then we've got da 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 bum bum. So we've got another pattern there. We could have a third pattern if we want. So what I'm going to do is keep that pattern. I'm going to select it all and I'm going to copy. Control C, Control V, just as if you're using Word or whatever, it's fine. Please excuse the zooming in and zooming out. I've got a problem with the mouse. But, so, what we can do as well is to remember what we've got is we can now, do you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to consolidate everything here. So consolidating means we make it all into one big loop. So we've got these separate kick drums, bum, 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 bum here. But if we look at the actual bar of music that we want, which is from, God, zoom again. Stop being a pain. If anyone can help me sort my mouse out, that would be a great tutorial. Look at that. I'm zooming out and it's zooming in now. It's a pain in the ass. But we can sort it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. I'm not just going to select the just the samples because it's left that bit of space at the end. We need to select that bit of space as well. We need to select the whole bar like this. And then I'm going to press right click and consolidate. What it's done now is it's instead of being individual samples, it's put it into one loop. And if I click loop selection, that will actually allow me, let me just show you this, if I create audio track, drag that down, I can actually just drag it along. Hang on, let me get rid of that. Loop selection, where are we? Bum, 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 bum. Loop, yeah, if I do that, if I loop it, I can actually, it's now a loop. So I've got my own little loop that I've created there. So I'm going to put that back. But this is what I'm doing here. I'm going to do the same thing with this, with the one that we made after. So we went from there right to the end, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to press consolidate. And I'm going to press loop again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a different colour so that I know we've got two different things. This bloody zoom, fuck's sake. So we've got this second loop with the extra little bit in there, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a different colour, so I'm going to make it blue. What I'm going to do with this next one is do it slightly differently, so it goes da 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 bum bum. Get rid of that, we don't need that. That's the mouse faffing about again. So what we will do with this one is just get this looping section up here so that I can hear what's going on. Remember, this is just for me to hear. This is not looping it with the actual tune. So we go. Don't forget to turn loop on there. So it's going da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. I don't want da-da-dum, I want da-da-da-dum. So it should be like most people could just go and do it. Oh God, this zoom! Most people could just, so you've got two separate things there. So we want da-da-da-dum. So that needs to be, I think, I can never remember this. We'll have to just play around with it. Use your ears. That's what I do. There we go. Okay, so we've got that one there, that beat there, boom, boom, boom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move it there. I'm going to put another one. I'm going to make it shorter. I'm going to put it there, and let's see what happens. So if you hover just above here until you get a little speaker sign, you can actually start it playing from there. So that's got the structure we want, but can you hear there's like a bit of silence that we don't want. Just have a listen. That's really clipped. The reason is because I've cut that off, so we need to run that one into that one. So let's try again. There we go. So we've got this one. And that one. So we've got a basic kick, we've got a little bit more elaborate, than that. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. Now remember, highlight all the way to the end of the bar. Don't just highlight that, because you're going to miss that bit of space off, which is going to make it out of time. So we need to do all of it. Let me just see if we can zoom out. And okay, so I'm using my mouse. I'm going to highlight all the way from there, and I am going to click consolidate. Now there are different options on here. You've got beats, complex, transients also. Let's keep it on beats for now, just to keep it simple. So we've got 3 different things there. Now we need to make this one a different color, because this is different to that. So let's make this, I don't know, pink or something. Let's go pink. So this one is basically that's just a beat with nothing going on, just bum, 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 bum. This next one is and this next one is right. Let's worry about putting them together later. So we've got some beats there. So these are all audio samples that we have dragged in, put together, and we've made a basic happy hardcore beat at 170. We've got another audio channel here that's already open. If it wasn't open, let's pretend it's not open. Let's delete that. We would right click, insert audio track. What we're going to do alongside this now is, so we can either, when we're talking about this looping thing here, you see the grey bar that we've been using, we can drag it along there, or if we want, let's just click that and right click and press loop section. So that's going to give us the loop there. So let's listen to this. We might want in there some hi-hats or some claps, so we've got, and these are all in the sample pack that you should have downloaded. We've got the hi-hats there, we've got some cymbals, crash. Do you know what? I think that's a really good way to start a tune. So let's drag that in to start. So the start of the tune goes, whoa, it sounds like a hardcore tune already. What I would normally do is add some effects to that, but let's just forget about the effects for now. Let's just work on the structure. So the tune starts like this. There we go. So we'll do that again. Let's have a look at some claps. So we've got this sample pack again. Quite like that. like number 2 and number 9, which we're going to go with. Let's go with number 2. So again, right click, insert audio track, and I'm going to drag this one across. So it's going to be at the start of the second bar. So we go. Do you hear that there? So we can either, depends, so you got your kick drum going, bum, bum, bum. Do you want the clap on with the kick drum, or do you want it off to one side? So if we were to do it on with the kick drum, let's just kick drum. Let's copy and paste, which you should know how to do that by now. Here we go. Ooh, sounds more like a build up. But it's not necessarily about actually making a proper tune, it's showing you how to do things. So here we go, Right, if you would to do a build-up, you would do that, zoom in. Oh God, supposedly zooming in, it's zooming out. Stupid thing. Right, okay, half it. Let me just get rid of that because I've made a mess of that. Right, okay, so it was there. Right, so let's half that and then take it down to something like that. What we can do is, if you were doing a build up, you might go something like this. So all I'm doing is changing the size of it like that and then copy and pasting. So if you get these build ups that go, so listen, there we go, hang on, zoom back out. And select them all, copy and paste, and copy and paste, and copy and paste, and copy and paste. You can do that, you can make it not quite as short as that, but anyway, let's get rid of those. So I'm just showing you something that's kind of, it's not where we're going at the moment. So we've got too many there. So what we're going to do is get rid of all that. And we're going to make them so that it's not lined up with the kick. So the kick's going to go boom, and the clap's going to go tsh. So you got boom, tsh, boom, tsh, boom, tsh. So there's your kick, okay? And there is your clap. And we're going to go like this. Again, it's all just copy and paste here. Let's go. So you can hear there, it's out of time. It's like a bad mix. So let's get rid of that. The mouse, I'm blaming the mouse for that. Delete. So where are we? So we go. If you want, you can just select them all and copy and paste them, and it should be, I think. You can do what we did before, where we highlighted them all and consolidated it, but I'm just going to keep it like that for now, so we go. I think that is a bit boring, so I want an extra one. So I'm just going to take this one out here, copy and paste it, make it a little bit shorter. I'm going to see if we can make something a little bit more intricate here. So let's go. Let's try that. So now we've got an extra little bit. It's only a little bit of variation, but it goes like this. am going to select the entire clap section here, if I can. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to press consolidate. Now I could press beats, but I actually think this needs to be complex. If you're using vocals or piano or anything that's more of a melodic sound, then you need to do complex rather than beats, but just play around with it. So let's have a quick look. Alright, okay, so click on the claps that you've just done and press loop, and that will give us a loop. So what we've got now is the kick drums there, we've got a crash when we come in, and we've got a crash on bar number 9. I'm actually going to take those claps so they come in at, on bar 9, not bar 5. Doesn't matter, you can play around with that. So it's going to sound like this. I'm just going to loop that little section there. So this is the tune so far. We've got 15 seconds of tune and it goes like this. We've got a happy hardcore tune going, so I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to take that kick to there, not there, so it's once every 8 bars there. I am going to duplicate that again, and I'm going to, this is a loop, so I can just, God, I've lost that bit now, hang on. So that's a loop, so I can just extend that there. What I would like now is I would like an aim and beat. So I'm going to insert an audio track and I'm going to go down to my drums, get rid of those, and I've got some amens here. Now I'm going to need to see what matches with what I've got. So let's just get this looping here because this is the main bit of our tune so far. So let's just loop this. So if we go down here, we can have a listen and see if there's anything that sounds like it might work. So that one's obviously all over the place. We can sort that out because it's that one, it's just to do with the functions in the DAW, but that sounds awful, but we can, if we really want to, we can do that one. So when you're listening along to this, try and think, do you know what, I quite like that one, that's the one I would choose. You know, we'll all choose something different. Some are obviously really complementary, but listening to the breakbeats on their own, right, so what we're going to do is go through, have a listen and decide which one we want to start with. If you can't quite tell if these are a little bit quiet, then you can turn down the drums in here. So you see there where there's a 0. So I'll just, if I press S, that's going to solo, that's going to only play the kick. So that's turning it down and up. I'm just doing that with the mouse. So I'm going to make that a little bit quieter. And I'm going to going to do the same with the crash, and I'm going to do the same with the claps, just so I can hear the breakbeats a little bit more clearly. So here we go. There we go, that's better. Ooh, it's nice. I'm going to make this a little bit louder. And again, what grabs you and what you like, what you think you can do something with will be very different to what I'm going with. You know what? That's a really good one to go with. That just, it works. We can mess about with that. So we've got, is this a spare audio channel? So this here is a spare audio channel. Again, if it wasn't, let's just pretend it's not there. Right click, insert audio track, and what we're going to do is drag that across. So what's happening now is if you right click on that, it's automatically like BeatSync, it's automatically warped it, so it should be in time with the tune. So yeah, that sounds okay. What I don't like is the fact that it's quite short. Every 2 minutes it's going tsh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up this Amen beat just a little bit. So let's just solo this beat and let's have a quick listen to it. Hang on. So you can see these little lines here. This is where it's looping the same loop. That's the actual main loop there. Okay, so I'm going to take off the loop and I'm just going to listen to it on its own, and I'm going to loop it myself within the software. So we've got this here. I'm going to change it to a different color because it's too similar to the clap. It's annoying me. So I'm going to make that green, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press loop selection, and let's just listen to this on its own. That is too short. We need to make this a longer loop, and we can play around with it. So you can see there, right at the end, you can actually see by the wave, that's the big crash at the end. So let's have a listen. So I want that maybe every, I don't know, 4 or 8 bars. So right click where I want to split it, and I'm going to press split, which I've just done. Where was it now? No, I've already done it, so it's not showing it. So split there, so I've split that, and I'm going to take it away. So if I split that, I've got half of it there, and I'm going to duplicate that bit. So now instead of having that big crash, it sounds like this. So we could, you know, this I'm trying to keep it fairly simple, but so what we can do is let's duplicate it again. So we've now got 4 versions of that, and if we do the last one has the crash. So only the last one has the crash. So here we go. So for me, that's better. What we can start doing in some future lessons is chopping this to bits and making a really interesting breakbeat. If you listen to my my track on Lazarus Records, Begging for More, the tune basically starts with a chopped up breakbeat, and I had so much fun with that. Spent a couple of days really chopping it to bits and taking something that was quite generic and making something really interesting with it. I thought was interesting. So the tune now, if we put it all back together, is sounding like this. Next up is we would extend that, we would play with those breakbeats, we'd play with the drums. So what I want you to do is go away and do either a 32 or 64 bar intro, starting off with, you can start with the claps. So on this one we started with the kick drum, but we could just as easily start with the clap. So let me just get my mouse working. That's where the clap is there. We could bring the clap in at the start. Or, if we delete that, we could start with the clap and then bring the kick drum in. How simple is that? So this is lesson, I think, number 4. It's just the basics of putting together a few drums, and hopefully you can have a little bit of fun with that. Go make some music, see where you are at the start of it, and then we'll start putting some other sounds in after. I'm DJ HH. This is a really basic, simple intro to producing happy hardcore. We've got lesson number 1, 2, 3 before this. If you like it, check out those, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow.